Christian.
This is me winning my first bodybuilding show. What everyone in the audience saw was just a few seconds on stage, but what they didn't see were the months leading up to it. The late nights, the hours of excruciation on the Stairmaster, the workouts when I literally had nothing left in the tank, the days where I was exhausted, hungry, and questioning whether any of it would actually be worth it. Every one of those moments had led to this. First couple weeks, I was really just getting used to the routine. A few weeks beyond that, it wasn't really all that bad. My body fat wasn't all that low yet. I was really just trying to take every day one step at a time because looking at it from the full picture at that point can be pretty daunting given there was still several months left. I think week 8, I finally broke into the 170s. The last couple of weeks is really where I had to push myself. I was getting lower in the body fat percentage. Just the mental aspect of it was getting to me at that point. I'm not gonna lie, it really took a lot to stick to the plan the last few weeks. And despite all that work, I really had doubts in my mind as to whether or not I'd actually stack up well against the other competitors, because standing backstage, I really had no idea how it was gonna go.
Level up in his discipline. Number 17, Christian Wilson.
So yeah, were there areas where I could have been better? Of course there were, not the least of which would have been better conditioning and posing. But overall, I've got to be proud of where I ended up. Besides, if there's one thing I've learned from doing my first bodybuilding prep, is that it's about so much more than just the show. What it demands of you during the intense weeks of dieting and training will transform you into someone you didn't think possible. At least for me, it gave my life more purpose, and that's priceless. Oh, and also, this part was hilarious.
Horrible. Do a front double bicep. Do anything but what you're doing. Yo.
Alright, so it is the Friday after. I'm just now getting around to filming this. I spent way too much time editing the last video, so if you haven't seen that, you should probably go see it. It's kind of a prequel to this one. I have my cream of rice with me. People who watched the last video know exactly what I'm talking about. I'm pretty happy with how the show went. I got first in debut, and that's kind of just what I expected of myself. I kind of had the idea going into it that I was probably going to be a little bit more physically developed than the average first-timer, and my hunch was correct. Like, I have so much respect for the other guys in the class. Like, they definitely brought some really impressive physiques to the stage and gave me a good run for my money, for sure. There were 6 in debut, by the way. Novice had 7. The novice class, a bit of a different story. I got 4th out of 7. I really feel like looking back on these photos, my strongest poses were really strong and my weaker poses were like really bad. Like, I feel like my good poses were potentially best in class, and then vice versa. I feel like my weaker poses really drew me down a lot. And that would be kind of reflective of the 4th out of 7th, right in the middle of the pack, you know. I really feel like side chest was incredible. Side tricep was incredible. Hands over head abs, I feel like that was really good too. But to be quite honest, it was probably some of the mandatories, as in the front relaxed, that was really bad, honestly. Like, and actually looking back on it, there's something I realized. Flexing up versus flexing down, that actually matters a lot. I really feel like default for me has always been flexing up, but honestly, I should be switching. Default should be flexing down. I feel like flexing up really works well in a few select poses, like ab crunch, maybe one hand over head, side bicep, right? For leaning back, you really got to do a down flex. It's really only for like if the pose calls for you to be a little bit more crunched over, you want to do an up flex. Otherwise, if you're trying to do an up flex with your abs on a pose where you're either standing straight up or leaning back, it makes your waist just look way too thick. And that's exactly what I was doing in the front relaxed. There's a few pictures where I did the front relaxed correctly, where I actually down flex, but a flex. I didn't even do it hard enough, so there wasn't really even any ab definition there. So I just looked soft and like I had a big waist. So no wonder that really drew me down. That wasn't doing much for me at all. So 100% next prep, I have to work on posing more. I'll definitely be hiring a posing coach. But hey, you live and you learn. At least now I know what the glaring weaknesses in my posing are. And I would definitely be taking the time over the off season. And of course, specifically next prep to be working on that a lot. Other than that, I actually got a chance to talk to one of the judges after. He said he really feels like the area in which I could improve the most is back width and back density. And I would agree. I mean, if you look at my physique from the front, I don't feel like there's really any glaring weaknesses, but I do feel like if from the back, my back isn't bad. It's not small, but I feel like my shoulders and arms are just so big. It kind of, in comparison, proportionally, it looks a little bit smaller. So I definitely agree. It could use some more width. And so I will absolutely be prioritizing back exercises, back volume, back intensity over these next few months as I try to grow as much as I can before my next prep. Next prep, by the way, that'll probably be next year sometime. I'm not going to do it again this year. You have to like time these things, I've learned. Do it back to back so you kind of like get it out of the way at the same time, or do it like far apart, like a year, right, or more. But if you're doing it like 6 months apart, that's really not ideal because you're going to be growing for 3 months, right? And then you're cutting again for 3 months to reverse that fat that you gained. And if you want to lose even more fat compared to where you were at the leanest point in your prep, then that's going to be even longer, right? So it's really just not ideal. I'm not trying to be in a perpetual cut. My birthday is May 5th, so I'm thinking either finish the prep before my birthday or start it after. One of those two will probably be the case next year. Overall, though, this was a huge positive experience for me. It was extremely tough, but it was totally 100% worth it. And if you're kind of on the fence about bodybuilding, or if you've never even given it a thought, I would definitely suggest challenge you to try it. Like, sign up for your first show. Like, I didn't even really give it a thought, but then my sister did it last year. I thought, okay, that's pretty cool. Maybe I should try it for myself. We found a show that I could do, and I'm really glad I did it. So I promise you won't regret it. There's so much more than just a better physique that you will end up gaining from it. As I've said before, it's largely mental discipline, and that mental discipline you gain, those habits you gain to eat that diet that's in place, that's irreplaceable, it's invaluable, and there's really only one way you can gain it, and that's by doing the hard work. And if you're not willing to do the hard work, show up day in and day out for a very long period of time, push yourself beyond your comfort zone, then maybe bodybuilding isn't for you. I don't know. But that's not to say you can't be there one day, right? It's just about taking small steps, trying to push yourself 1% every single day. Just find something that you can push yourself in every single day. Yeah, like I said, this took a very long time to edit. So I'd really appreciate if you drop a like, consider subscribing. I do have plenty more of ideas coming up for fitness content. Not just fitness content, but self-improvement content. You see my channel, I got some fashion type things. So I'm thinking about kind of being an in-between on those. Hope you all enjoyed, and have a good day.